My name's Paul Hemsel. I'm the squad leader of the Hunter Hornets. We're part of the 501st Legion. This is James. He's going to help me with the presentation this morning, or this afternoon. So the 501st Legion. 501st Legion has been around since 1997. We're an international organisation, so we've got about 14,000 members across the world. And there's a couple of different Star Wars costuming groups. The 501st is what most of us are here today, but there's also the Rebel Legion. We've got a few. Can we get a hands of people that are in the Rebel Legion? There we go. So we've got we've got a future member down there. That's great. So the Rebel Legion were formed in 2000. They've got 5,000 members. Again, they're worldwide. They've got 60 bases. So essentially the 501st Legion, our mission, and of the other Star Wars groups, our mission is to promote Star Wars and the fun and everything that's all about Star Wars. We're ambassadors for the franchise. We do a lot of work with Disney when they request us. We're there to facilitate costuming, so helping people get into these fabulous costumes that you see around the place. Showing people how it is actually quite accessible getting into these costumes. So we show people how they can get involved and contributing. So we do a lot of community work. So a lot of fundraising, visits to hospitals. So we'll go through some of that in the presentation. Okay, so some of the work that we do, in particular with the promotion side of things, you might see us at some of the big events, so the big conventions. So this one, I believe, is Supernova. You can sort of see an X-Wing at the back there. That was a big Disney stand that they had set up. And this is what we call the Southern Cross Garrison. So that's where Southern Cross Garrison is the New South Wales and ACT side of the 501st Legion. So that's us there. We also attend a lot of other cons as well, so Comic-Con, we were recently at that. We also go to GammaCon, that's another event that's in Canberra, and we often will go up to Coffs Harbour as well to NexusCon. I mentioned before that we do a bit of Disney work. This was a really awesome opportunity that we had when The Last Jedi was about to be released. So this was leading up to that. I think it was about November. So this is actually at Fleet Steps in Sydney Harbour. What they did, they actually had a barge in the middle of the harbour, and with a helicopter they lifted off a massive lightsaber. It was Kylo Ren's lightsaber. They lit it up. And you could shake your phone at it and it was all, the lightsaber was made of LEDs and you could shake your phone at it and it would actually show you a message well, I've got a bit of a video here. So yeah, we're pretty fortunate to be able to get involved and collaborate with Disney for a lot of these events. And we've hopefully, well, I'm not too sure what we've got coming up for the Rise of Skywalker, but I'm sure we'll get involved with a few events for that as well. In terms of contribution, James, did you want to jump in?
So as Paul has mentioned, we do a lot of troops in ways of just people asking us to rock up, whether it be for weddings or even contribute to helping unfortunate people who might suffer of mental illness or any other sort of issues. So this one here is actually for Dream Night. So it's an event we do at the end of the year. They close Taronga Zoo. We come at night and they allow families that are a bit less fortunate than we are to come in and experience all that with us. So as well as us being there, they have other costuming groups. So we have the Rebel Legion as well as Mandalorian Mercs and a few other superheroes and stuff that come in as well. So that's actually a very big event for the year for us. We always love to go to that.
Yeah, it's one of those events where, for a lot of the time, you're kind of glad you're wearing a helmet because it's a really touching event. I got goosebumps thinking about it, but yeah, it's one of the amazing events that we love to do.
So, as I was saying, we've been invited to weddings or to local businesses, or we don't promote businesses in a way, but they request us if they want a present for any sort of thing. So we're happy to oblige as long as it fits within what we're allowed to do. So
yeah, and we're pretty fortunate. Well, a couple of years ago, we were asked. There was a gentleman that had a brain tumour, and we were fortunate to be invited to go and visit him in hospital. So yeah, we turned up, had a great time. We had a really good turnout of stormtroopers and other characters. Got to meet him, and then I guess a couple of months later, unfortunately, he passed away, and the family invited us to go to his funeral. So yeah, that was really touching. Yeah, the whole family were massive Star Wars fans, as was Andrew, and yeah, it was just an amazing, I guess, privilege to be part of that for him and for his family.
So one of our chosen charities is the Black Dog Institute. So it helps for mental health, to help prevent and to cure, hopefully, the best we can. It's one of our big ones that we like to do. So we also do Starlight.
Yeah, we get heavily involved with Starlight as well.
Yeah.
But so you can actually visit our website, and there's a donate button there if you'd like to donate on behalf of the 501st Legion. But yeah, Black Dot Institute, we've been a partner with theirs for quite some years, and yeah, we help raise that awareness of mental health issues. Okay, joining the Legion. So this is a little bit techy, so I'm going to go off script. But essentially, there's a couple of things that you need to join the 501st Legion. You need to pick a costume. That's probably one of the hardest decisions you're going to make. For me, I came in knowing I wanted to be a stormtrooper. So, for me, that was the most iconic character out of the Star Wars franchise. So I couldn't wait to get my stormtrooper costume. So, but that, for a lot of people, that's a really hard decision to make, trying to figure out which costume you want. Then you've got to reach out and find out how you make that costume, because these are fairly specific builds. They're all vac-formed pieces of plastic, and you need help putting it together. So essentially what you can do, our community, our 501st community and the Rebel Legion, they're really helpful at giving advice on how to get these costumes, where to source them from. Most of the makers are over in the States, in the UK, but we can help out with showing you the better makers and some of the pros and cons. And also, especially with stormtroopers, everyone comes in different shapes and sizes. So some makers build kits that are better for larger people or taller people or shorter people. So we can help out with that, sort of giving that advice. So that's where, to get that advice, that's where you would join the local forum. So we've got links on our website. Actually, the website's got a whole heap of information about how to join the 501st Legion and the Rebel Legion. It goes through all the steps and shows you things like the costume attachments and stuff like that. So it does get a little bit nerdy, but so I'll skip that there. But so for the 501st Legion and the Rebel Legion, you do need to be 18 years and older. You have to have a costume. So all of these costumes are screen accurate costumes, so they are as you would have seen them in the movies. So that's one of the things that we think separates us with a lot of other costuming groups. It's that quality of costume, and that's why we do have a good relationship with Disney as well. So we really are we're those characters stepping off the screen into real life.
In saying that as well, besides movie accurate costumes that we have, they also do allow costumes to be approved from the cartoons. So if you've seen Rebels or Clone Wars, they do make kits that get approved for that.
For people that are under 18, there's the Galactic Academy, and that's a heap of fun. So that's another costuming group. Doesn't have the same stringent approval guidelines. So I mean, ultimately, it's just about having fun and enjoying Star Wars. So you can get a costume from Target make your own gel costume or things like that. So yeah, you can get store-bought costumes and join the Galactic Academy. And quite often there's those opportunities where you can join the 501st Legion and come to events with us and have a bit of fun. Okay, I'm going to pick on a costume character. Jason, can you see your way up here? Alright, so we're just going to have a bit of a chat to one of our troopers. You want to come a bit closer? Alright, take your bucket off.
It's very
Alright, so everybody, this is Jason.
How you going, everyone?
So, Jason, do you want to tell us a little bit about your character?
Okay, so I'm Commander Fox from the Clone Wars series. I'm a clone commander of the Republic Army. I kill lots of battle droids in the field.
So, why did you choose this costume?
Well, this particular costume is made by one of our members in Canberra, Matt. So he retired his costume, so I was happy enough to grab it and I fit it. So that's why I've got it. But I love the character.
And it's not your only costume, is it? What other costumes do you have?
No, so I'm a TIE pilot as well, and I'm making a sand troop at the moment.
So we've got a TIE pilot just over there.
Cool.
And a lot of the, with sand troopers, you'll find a lot of the stormtroopers where their costumes start breaking down a little bit, because it's not just a matter of building the costume, it's constant repair. So what a lot of troopers do with their stormtroopers, when they start getting a little bit battle worn from a lot of events, they'll dirty them down and turn them into sand troopers.
Absolutely. So I was just out the back there because my armour fell apart just a little bit today, so I had to run back in and fix a bit and come back out. That's what we're always doing, constantly fixing things. So that's one of the enjoyments of it all, actually.
So Jason, how long have you been a member of the 501st?
Yeah, so I'm actually quite new. I've only been in the Legion for 2 years, and we've got some members here that have been here for 11, and I think the Legion's been going for about 20 years now. So yeah, there's always enjoying it.
All right. Are there any weird problems or issues that you have with that costume?
Well, this one is what we call a full costume. It's the hard arm. Hard. It's all hard. Everything's hard. So you get pinched on your joints, so you'll come and you'll get red marks. So that's why I like the TIE pilot, because it's a jumpsuit essentially with a bit of hard armour on top, and you can move around, sit down. Sit down in this. I couldn't sit down, so once in, I'm standing up, and obviously if I want to go to the toilet, I've got to take it all off.
So out of the costume characters that we've got around the room, put your hand up if you can sit down. Yeah. All right. Keep your hand up if you can walk downstairs. So the fearsome stormtroopers and some of the clone troopers, you can see that once you've got your costume on, you can't actually do much. You're quite limited. What about vision with your costumes?
Surprisingly, with my mask, my T-visor here of the clones, that's actually pretty good. I actually get more vision from this particular one than my TIE pilot. It's not super vision, but it's enough to see people around me. Now, the difficult thing is for young children that like to get in my blind spot, I have to I keep my hand out and tap, so I can tap, because they get in the way and I can't see them, but when they're there, I'll give a hand, I'll go for a high five, but yeah, vision is limited, but not too bad at all.
Now, with my stormtroopers, if you see a stormtrooper there, just be mindful, you can see those dark eyes there, they actually can't see a whole lot. The eyes for their helmet don't necessarily line up particularly well to your own eyes. And also, with my helmet, I can't see anything from that far down until I get to some distance. So, little kids, yeah, I've knocked a few over. So just be mindful of that. Everyone, all of us love to get photos. Just be mindful that we can't see you. So you might have to just try hard to get our attention. So it's really bad when you see a young kid come up and wanting to have a high five and you've got no idea that they're there. So, okay. So thank you for that, Jason.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Alright, you've just scored a bucket, so that's good. So if you want more information, the websites for both clubs. So this is the 501st Southern Cross Garrison website. So that's for the New South Wales and ACT membership. And then you've got the rebellegion.com.au. So personally, I'm a bad guy, so I prefer you went to this one. So, all right. Do we have any questions?
So I've got a question.
You've got a question.
Actually, got it. With our costumes, some of our costumes can be dual approved. So, particularly with my costume of being a clone, I can be a rebel. I'm a rebel legionnaire and also a 501st as well. So there are costumes that you can get in both clubs, and that's fantastic. And there's also a third club as well. We talked about the Mandalorian Mercs at all.
I haven't.
So the Mandalorian Mercs are the bounty hunters of the Star Wars universe. They're a costuming group as well, and you can be a 501st with only one Boba Fett. So you can be Boba Fett in the 501st and also in the Mandalorian Mercs. But very hard kit to do. It's one of the hardest kits to do.
So who here has heard of the Mandalorian? Yeah, so I reckon the Mando Mercs, their membership's going to go up pretty quickly once that TV show comes out. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. No other questions? Oh, we got questions, yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I mean, you do these sort of events. Is there other things that you do? Like, is it like a club where you go and you have regular meetings, or do you just get together to do these events?
So, yeah, no, we're a costuming group, and we help our new members to create their costumes. So I mean, if you're like me, I'm useless with tools, dead set useless. So I needed a lot of help when it was time to get my kit built. So what we do, we hold armour parties. So we've got a really good community. Everyone's really friendly and helpful. A lot of experience within our costuming groups. And we all come together and help people with making their costumes. So once you've got your costume, there's no sort of special, we don't do meetings or anything like that. It's really about getting to events, doing spreading the word of Star Wars, having a heap of fun, making kids smile, and fundraising and doing a lot of charity work. Cool. So thank you.
Thanks, guys.